Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Maria. This is Conversations with Mother Earth. We just celebrated our 20th episode a few days ago, and I am back with another episode for our Sophia Sunday series. This is my third one where we are channeling messages from the Divine Feminine, the energy of the Divine Feminine, be that Mary Magdalene, or if we have other beautiful visitors, incarnations of that same energetic being. That's awesome. Mother Earth. Whoever wants to come through and share with us what is meant to be heard, what needs to be heard at this time in our human life. I'm open to it. I'm here for it. And I'm enjoying very much sharing these weekly messages. So we are filming for the week of April 27th, 2025. Last week, we celebrated Easter. We celebrated Earth Day. We had some beautiful messages that came through from last week's transmission, and actually things that I wanted to jump back into today before we get started with our guided meditation and then our channeled message. The first thing was I had made a comment about feeling that the suppression or the silencing of the Divine Feminine, of Mary Magdalene, of our female as the divine being, the one that we celebrated throughout human history up until just a few thousand years ago. That being, I felt, or I mentioned, feeling was purposefully silenced. We were meant to go through the cycle of prolonged, diminishing, I guess, or forgetting. We were meant to go through that cycle to be able to reemerge and reawaken and or just remember, not re-remember, but remember again our connection to that mother creator of all. And I found something. I know I've been speaking about this book, Return of the Divine Sophia, by Tricia McCannon. I finished it. Beautiful. Loved the experience of reading this book. But Mary Magdalene makes a comment about that, about the quieting of the feminine voice, of the feminine entity. It makes a comment about it in relation to the coming of, to Christ consciousness and the second coming. So I wanted to share this with you really quickly. Let me see. This chapter is titled Sophia and the Second Coming of the Christ. And it talks a little bit about that, about how Mary Magdalene, the Divine Feminine, Mary Magdalene has remained a part of the undercurrent of the story, like the messaging for 2,000 years, and continues to come back or continues to remain here among us energetically, through the Divine Feminine, through the Sophia consciousness, what have you, in the effort to push that mission, push that messaging. She has not gone away. And it says right here on what page am I? 364. That before the bride is received, Divine Feminine, right? The creatrix, I think is the word. Before the bride is received, she must be rejected. And before the second coming, there must come a great darkness. Until the second coming of Christ, the wisdom of God shall not be received. When the bride is received, know the second coming is near. And Tricia elucidates on this. If these prophecies are true, then the Christ consciousness cannot come until the reinstatement of the Divine Feminine in the world. It is this balance that will bring about world awakening. Understanding these celestial principles, Mary also taught. God the Father entered in through the image of the Son, but the world was overwhelmed by the great supernal glory. Therefore, the Son imparted to the Mother Spirit, and God the Mother has entered in through the image of the Daughter to nurture the little ones until they grow wise. The light entered, but was too bright, and so now the fire comes to purify, so that all might be sanctified to receive the true light. Everything shall be accomplished in due season, and it is the Mother Spirit that will accomplish everything. And she says, what a powerful statement. And for this reason, she realized I'd been called to embrace a goddess. Now, those are excerpts from Mary Magdalene's gospel itself. I have it up on this other screen, called Saint Mary Magdalene, The Gnostic Tradition of the Holy Bride by Tal Malachi, Tau, first name, last name, Malachi. I think that's how you say it. And those are excerpts from her gospel, or her tradition, her messaging, stating that we've gone through this period of darkness, of like diminishing, of forgetting. And now, as we are reemerging into this understanding of the power of the divine feminine, its importance in our life, in our spiritual practice, and in our understanding of, being human. That reemergence coincides with the second coming of Christ and with these major changes that are happening in our society's hearts and humanity's hearts overall. So I loved that I found that. I'm pretty sure I read that like within 24 hours of giving the original message of saying like, hey, I think this happened for a reason. Everything happens for a reason kind of thing. So I wanted to share that. I was so excited. I was like, yes, I feel validated. So that was the first thing I wanted to share. In the last part of my transmission from last week, I also mentioned feeling a new presence that I have not felt before, and a new divine feminine personality archetype, I guess you could say. And I thought perhaps it was Ashira, because it felt so ancient. It felt so old. But one of the things that I failed to mention in my description was that she was wearing she had on the headdress with the egg or the moon and then the bull's horns. And so I went back in the book and I was trying to figure out, is that how Ashira was represented? And she has some images in this book that I went back to reference, and I want to show you what it really looked like to me. Close. It was close to this, not 100%. And it was just kind of this headdress, close to the shape of this headdress that our visitor was wearing. And this is Trisha's own rendition of Isis right here. So she had on a headdress. So I'm still unsure if it was Isis or if it was Ashira. It doesn't necessarily matter. It was amazing that we had somebody new come in and essentially introduce themselves and say hi and give me a really beautiful message. I love that. So I hope we get to meet again and maybe find out some more information at some point. But I just wanted to tell you, like when I had that vision in my mind, it was a woman who had more ancient attire on, but with that headdress. So if you wanted a mental picture. So yes, it's becoming kind of commonplace for the Sophia Sunday for me just to have a question, just one kind of open-ended question of what are we meant to hear right now? What messaging is important for us as humans to hear? And after that, allowing the divine feminine to come through and just give us whatever message we need to receive. It's been a very heavy Mary Magdalene, as if you've been around for a while, that and Christ consciousness, Jesus, Yeshua's teachings. That's been a big part of my journey so far. And how surprising, right? But how amazing. I'm loving it. So we'll see if kind of that same type of messaging comes through. But either way, I would love to invite you to come in and join me in the exercise and close your eyes, ground yourself, do the meditation or the prayer of connection, and see if you can't get remnants of messages in your own heart, in your own mind. I think that's the point, is trying to do this for yourself, showing you that there's a way to do this for yourself, to connect to your heart space and receive divine guidance or anything. Everyone's perspective and everyone's messaging is going to be different based on their own unique experience, their own unique path. So what I'm receiving is going to be unique to me for the most part. What you receive is going to be unique to you. So that's why I really invite you to do some of these exercises with me and to feel the energy and to let the light ground into the earth. Become a channel, become a light-filled, love-filled being, and kind of just watch the magic unfold. Watch the magic happen. I love it. It's so awesome. One last point I want to make is, if you are new to the podcast, then I want to let you know that there is, and I'm sorry, if you're watching this or listening to it, not listening, there's also an opportunity to watch. I film this live, not live, but yes, I'm filming it with video, and the opportunity to watch those and watch me just kind of talk and go through this is available on YouTube and Spotify. Everything else I think is just podcast, just audio. So there are a few different options for you if you're interested in checking out some of the other options. It's just a funny side note. It's one of those days today. My son is texting me from his dad's phone downstairs. And so if you hear the phone vibrating, I'm so sorry. Please know that that I'm getting random text messages like R-matey and all these other things that a 5-year-old would probably not just be sending. Oh, but we are meant to enjoy the children. They're not meant to be placed aside. That was one of the major messages that I received. I was chastised almost for in my first Sophia Sunday. Embrace them. Allow them to be a part of this part of your life. So we're doing that. For now, though, let's begin our meditation. Let's close our eyes and take a few deep breaths. And as we do this, as we calm our body, as we begin to calm our nervous system, I want you to go ahead and picture that beautiful white light above your head. That burst of creation, that sunburst, however you envision it. That white light, go ahead and breathe it down into the top of your head, allowing the light to coat your insides or just kind of cleanse you and travel down your body. And breathe it down into your third eye space. Let it travel down your face, your throat, your shoulders, all the way down through your arms. Allow it to travel down your torso and through your hips, your legs, out the soles of your feet and down into Mother Earth. Allowing it to coat Mother Earth and enter Mother Earth. And push that light in and as far as it can possibly go. Recently, I've been picturing just almost like a golden coating, a light of light surrounding the earth. Like the candy shell, just of light. And I love to take a few deep breaths here and just spend a minute or two really sinking myself in. So oftentimes we as intuitives or as empaths or just feeling people in general need that extra little bit of grounding to kind of bring us back into our heart, into our body, into ourself. So this always feels really important to me, just to get back into balance. And today it feels almost like the energy is kind of pushing outside of me as well. I'm expanding out here as I am sinking into Mother Earth. And there's this feeling of oneness, of universal connection to all things today. That like, I am everything. I am one with everything. We are connected. And on your next deep breath, go ahead and breathe that Mother Earth energy back up through the soles of your feet. Up through your legs, through your hips and up your torso, out the top of your head and carrying it up into the sky, into outer space. As high as you can take that Mother Earth energy all the way back up into our Creator sunburst, our bubble, our blast of light. One with the Father, Mother, God of all things. And for me, at least, when it comes to raising my frequency and connecting in, the breath has a lot to do with it. The breath through my nostrils, the intention of breathing in, taking me to another layer, a higher frequency each time, feels important for me to share, because if you're needing some guidance on how to do that, that's what I recommend. On each inhale through your nostrils, go ahead and breathe yourself even a little bit higher. Allow your body to relax just that extra little bit more. So it almost feels like your head is kind of floating in the clouds. And I'm going to go ahead and say a quick prayer. Divine Mother, Divine Feminine, Creator of all, Goddess Sophia, Isis, Ashira, Mary Magdalene, we invite you in today to help us on our path in being human, to give us your wisdom and guidance, to share with us some beautiful messages that are important to be anchored into our current lives right now, into our hearts. To anchor the love in to this reality. Remind us that we are a part of all things. The grass, the trees, the people around us. We are earth, we are human, we are divine. And as always, I ask that you keep me a clear channel, honest and true and authentic. A messenger for light. I thank you for the wisdom and the guidance, and I love you. So, Sophia, 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 what wisdom do you have for us today, Sunday, April 27th, 2025? What messaging do you have for us? Yeah, and right off the bat, I had a feeling this is very earth energy, earthy today. Specifically, the first images that I'm getting are the birds flying through the sky, sunlight on a meadow. This feeling of being connected to all things. It's not a made-up notion, but it's something that definitely has been forgotten. This This living in connection and oneness with the earth was another main reason that you came, that you are in this human experience right now. To be able to touch grass with your hands or with your toes. To be able to breathe the dew in the morning. To see the sun peek over the horizon. And feel it on your face. With gladness and joy, a smile on your face. Welcome in the new day. To behold the mountains in the distance. And the majestic trees that grow. We're meant to be in awe of the beauty that we see all around us. We're meant to remember that this is not forever and this is not everywhere. That this is unique to this experience, to the here and now. That God is in all of these things. That spirit, that energy is in all of these things. And we are connected to them. We reach our hands out and we can feel their energy. We can feel the vibration of their beingness, of their aliveness. You can see the sun rays. You can see the light waves if you look in a specific way. It's its aliveness showing itself, revealing itself to you. All the things around you speak in the same way, in vibration and waves and energy. And all you have to do is reach yourself out to feel them. To close your eyes and know that you are not alone when you are standing in nature. You are standing in the presence of aliveness, of connection, of being in oneness. Your existence is not separate from all of these things, from ashes to ashes. They fade the same way that you fade. They decompose the same way you decompose. They form back into the earth to be born again, to be born anew. Your human needs to remember that. That it's like a death and a rebirth, reemergence. And it's part of the cycles of life here. It's just what your body does. It's not what your soul does. It's not what your spirit does. Your spirit is not gone forever. Your spirit is forever connected to all things. There are remnants of you left when your body goes. You don't stop being. You don't stop existing. You are forever and always connected to nature. And your heart, your soul remembers this and yearns for you to remember as well. Yearns for you to get outside and be in the presence of remembering. Of feeling the sun on your skin. That will help you remember. Being in presence with the new day, with the dawn, will remind you. It also offers this hopeful new day energy, excitement. Every day is meant to be excitement, every new morning. And when you continue to follow in the pattern or the ritual or the schedule that you have that doesn't welcome the sun and embrace the sun and enjoy being outside to welcome the earth awake, when you don't do that, then the connection you forget. You've forgotten. You've separated yourself from what we are here to do, from what we are here to feel. The emergence of a new dawn is a powerful practice. that needs to be prioritized if you're ready to step into a new version of yourself, a new form. Do you want to see radical life change? Radical heart shifts? Do this. Do this every day. Stand in the presence of the sun as it emerges in the sky every morning. When the light touches the mountain, bounces off the mountain, it sings to us of the joys of existence. It speaks to us. The feeling that you get in your heart when you see something like this, the majesty, the beauty, that's spirit speaking to you. That's the energy speaking to you. That's the mountain speaking to you. Saying, behold, look at the magnificence of the Creator. You know, if we dig down into and feel and reach into the base of the mountain, down, follow it down into its roots, energetically follow that down into the ground, into the depths of the earth, you will find a presence there. You will find a being with wisdom to share. The mountains say, behold the glory. The mountains say we are a gift from the Mother. We are here as a gift from the earth. We stand here to help you remember and are in remembrance of all that has come before. We're watchers and protectors of the nature around us, of the beings and the plants, the animals around us. We offer guidance and support. We're structured. We offer the structure, the backbone. But there's incredible majesty to be found in our wisdom. And for those of you who need guidance on how to connect, focus on the base. Put your awareness towards the base of the mountain. Allow your heart to reach out, or allow your energy field to reach out to that space. And try to breathe it into yourself. Or even try to place your energy there. Breathe yourself into there. And you will feel our aliveness. And my son, who's hiding underneath the table, told me that we should say, God loves you too. What a beautiful message to share, Reese. As the mountain laughs. The mountain laughs with my son here today. The mountain says, we are not too old to laugh, to find joy in the human life, to find joy in the youth. We are here to protect. We are members of the wise. We have seen ages come and go, and we help the earth in her rhythms, in her changes and in her cycles. We are of her, but also helpers in that way. We extend out from her to help create change when needed. The mountain can sing a sweet song if you open your ears to hear it. And the image that I'm getting right now is almost like, oh my gosh, are they the Tibetan prayer flags? Around the mountain, and the wind is just kind of whipping them around. And there's this majesty of that mountain. Why can't I think of what the mountain's called? It's a Mount Everest, maybe. The most ancient of all. Is there anything else you'd like to share? Mountain. There's something to be said about a spiritual experience around the majestic mountains. Do you want to experience something incredible? Visit these places. The power of the mountain is unbelievable. You feel it in your body, the frequency and the vibration of these places. It is a heightened frequency, a heightened elevation of your body, even. And it's almost like feeling like you would go to one of these places and you just feel almost like you're so enlightened, so light, almost like you're living in a higher dimensional place. Why do you offer, how do you have this, or why do you offer this? How is this possible? We are the places on the earth that are meant to be experienced by those seekers who are ready to feel something different than what they already know. We offer a change of soul scenery. And allow new energy, new frequency to enter your experience. Thank you, mountain. What would happen to my life if I were to visit? Oh my gosh, it almost feels like I would be having an out-of-body experience. So much, in your head, it almost feels like this is where, the Akashic records, when I'm in the records, it feels very floaty up here in my headspace. Like that's what it would feel like for me if I were to go to a place like this or visit, like Mount Everest. Even Mount Shasta is also a name that's coming up too. That's incredible. Thank you. And I think they're saying, you will make it to this place someday. You are meant to share the wisdom of the mountain. You are meant to feel it in your body and in your soul. That sounds incredible. Thank you. Sophia, 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 what other wisdom do you have for us today? It's more earth things today. So I'm seeing like a stream and a meadow with rocks and kind of a creek, I guess you would say. Even the stones in the creek have a message for you if you walk upon them or near them. We are also the foundation. We also add structure and purpose to these places. We enliven the water. We enliven the places that we reside in. We have an understanding of time and place. We add a foundation to existence. There's a reason that we play with rocks or carry them with us from natural places. The memory inside of them speaks to us as humans. Not only speaks of the experience, but carries the energy of the place as a memory. And as you feel these rocks and hold on to these rocks or experience these rocks, you understand that you are also the same, made up of rock. Or not made up of rock, what was it? Of the same substance. A rock gets to experience light, moisture, movement, just varying weather patterns, animals. They experience all the same things that we do in that way. But they carry the memory in the energy of places. When we step on them, we remember that we are of the earth, that we are made of the same stuff. What else does this represent? What else would you like me to know about this? Spend more time with your feet in the creek, with your feet in nature, climbing up on rocks and standing on rocks. Spend more time listening and feeling us around you. Playing in the waters. Spend more time being involved in the earth. We are yearning for you to come and be with us. To share a moment in time, a life experience with us. We enjoy having the people near. We enjoy sharing space. We want to exist in your experience. We want to be a part of your memory, of your life. And I just have this, these images that keep coming of my own childhood, of being in the creek, because that was an important part of my childhood. One that I really remember intensely, of like spending time at summer camp or creeking or playing in the creek and spending time outside. The majority of the day spent that way. And I loved it. As a child, I absolutely loved it and hope to impart that in my own children's lives. Because there is something really incredibly special about just interacting and living in nature like that. Just spending idle time, throwing a rock down a creek bed, or stepping on from rock to not get your shoes wet at the beginning of the day. Like, there's something really incredibly special about that. All right, Sophia. Any last words for us as we move through our week, this week of August 27th, 2025? What else do you have for us today? Don't dismiss the teachings about the earth. Don't downplay the messages about connecting with nature. These teachings are just as important as all of the other ones. Meeting and connecting to the stones is just as important as meeting and connecting with Jesus, Mary Magdalene, those divine beings that come to visit. because their presence is a holy one in our life. Their presence, it's like is a memory, or provides a memory for this experience on earth, this incarnation that you have here. Don't let that go to waste. Don't let that opportunity pass you by to interact with as many things as you can in the earth while you're here. Don't miss out on the opportunity to hear the birds, to walk under the trees, to skip stones and take them home with you, to find joy and gladness in being outdoors. That's the real treat of being alive. It truly is a real treat and should be foremost in your mind. When it comes to luxury, interacting and spending time with nature is the utmost luxury. A beautiful earth, one that invites you in and day out, is one of the most miraculous experiences and encounters that you will ever have as a soul. Be present in the nature. Wow. First of all, thank you to the stones and the mountains and the water for the beautiful earth messages today. It's just so very interesting. I had said a prayer about this. And I'm noticing more and more that if I have thoughts about something days leading up to making a video, oftentimes that thought or a message that correlates to that thought will come up. And I had prayed yesterday as a manifestation to have the freedom to be able to spend more flow in nature. That's something that I really hope to have for myself. I can start by taking walks outside or taking my kids to the nature center or the creek and exposing them in those ways. But it's almost like my heart and my soul yearns for it to be a huge priority in my life, right? Those people that drive around in RVs and visit the national parks and camp outside and just flow down the river. Or having even, eventually having a house on a property that has a creek in the backyard or woods in the backyard where you can just go and spend time. That is a huge heart dream for me, because I know how incredible, I can feel it inside of myself, how incredible it is when I get to spend time in nature. And it's been that way for me since I've been a child. Like I said, when I've spent the majority of my summers outside. And just, oh my gosh, some of the best memories that I have. And it's not necessarily interacting with people, it's interacting with the nature. Those are the memories I love the most. So in my prayer yesterday or the day before, please know that this is something that's important to me, that I would love to experience in this life. Having the freedom and the flow to be able to do these things and make them a major priority in my time here on earth. So to have that prayer and then to come in today and have it be so earth focused is really not surprising to me. We also spent the majority of yesterday out at the park in the nature center in the woods. So very beautiful earth energy today. And you know what else is interesting is I've connected with the stone elemental or the stone beings before, maybe one or two other times in a very different way. But it was nice to interact with those again, because they each have a different kind of feeling to them. The wisdom and the wiseness and the majesty of the mountain feels different than the rocks in the creek, feels different than the slate inside of the earth. But they all have a presence. They have a feeling that goes along with them if you open yourself up to connecting. And I think that's what's great also about this message today is you can do this. You can also tap into those energies, to those feelings, to those teachers. Because we are not separate, as you know. We're not. We are made from the same stuff. We're all alive, living in this place together. So I loved today's message. Thank you, Sophia, Mother Earth, stones in the mountains, the trees, the beings that came through today to share their message and their wisdom. I thank you, and I love you. And as always, guys, I hope to see you in the next one. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.